Hey sports fans, we're back and today we're here to talk about one of the biggest names, literally and figuratively, in all of college sports, and that name is DJ Uiagalelei, quarterback of the Clemson Tigers. At 6'5" and 260 pounds, the big-armed mountain of a quarterback may be one of the most intriguing signal callers to play college football in a generation, and if not the most intriguing, certainly the most hype. By looking at 10 things you didn't know about the young stud, we hope to shed some light on this hype and see what it's all about while learning a thing or two about the 20-year-old with the bazooka for an arm. But first, before we get into all that good stuff, if you're not already subscribed, do me a favor and click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on this channel. All done? Alright, on to our video. Kicking off this list, we're getting some of the easy stuff and house cleaning out of the way. The first thing you may not know about the 20-year-old behemoth from Clemson, that he was a 5-star recruit and not just one of the biggest quarterbacks high school football has ever seen, but one of its biggest names. Filling in the shoes of Clemson football legend who bordered on national folk hero, Trevor Lawrence isn't easy, especially when Lawrence was already crowned the second coming of just about every Hall of Fame QB before he even laced them up at Clemson, considering the dude was a high school phenom long before he was a Tiger. Well, the same could be said about DJ, who was the USA Today's High School Player of the Year as a junior and as a senior, cementing his name as one of the top 3 prospects in the nation with his 48 touchdowns and 4,200 yards passing. DJ may not be Trevor Lawrence, but there's one thing to take away from all this, is that the dude could end up having a ceiling that's just as high as far as his prospective talent is concerned. Coming in at number 9, DJ knows that you probably don't know how to pronounce his name. DJ's name is pronounced Uiagalelei and is a proud Samoan with a name a lot of non-Samoans have probably never heard of or have difficulty enunciating. DJ gets it and has to laugh off the fair share of pronunciation failures by friends, fans, the media, and coaches. But a good thing for DJ is that he has a couple of nicknames that he's grown quite fond of, in case he can't say his last name. His preferred nickname that he's had since high school is Big Cinco, and another nickname less commonly used is the Throw-In Samoan. As his career takes off, we will see which nicknames stick and which new nicknames people come up with, but for now, we're not bad at either of them. Number 8. DJ's been considered a prodigy since the age of 2. As the story goes, one day DJ's father, Big Dave, had his son in the backyard and decided to show him how to throw a few passes to see if his son already would have the knack for the game. Even with DJ's first throws, his father knew that his son was destined to play the sport because he was already able to throw the ball much farther than a 2-year-old should be able to, and his form was even much better than it should be. From there, Big Dave decided it was time to train this big arm and see what big things could come from it. From there, it was a lot of coaching and guidance from his dad, the biggest hype man, while also being put into youth academics. DJ eventually found himself playing Pop Warner when he was 9, with kids in junior high because he was that much better than everyone close to his age. From there, it didn't take long for DJ to start receiving national attention. Number 7. DJ wanted to drop out of the 6th grade to go play professional baseball in the Dominican Republic. While most 6th graders probably aren't giving too much serious thought about their future, at least not that far past what they're going to be doing when the bell dismisses them from school, DJ had big ideas that his parents had to shut down immediately. After reading in a biography that New York Yankees pitcher Mariano Rivera dropped out of school at age 12 to pursue baseball full-time and had a contract by the time he was 15 and was able to rescue himself from poverty, a young DJ said sign him up. Luckily for DJ's parents, they were able to convince their uber-talented son to stay the course and stick with school and football. Number 6. He got his first Power 5 scholarship in the 8th grade. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that correctly. This stud was already getting recruited to play college ball before he was even old enough to get a driver's permit. Well, that didn't stop Fresno State from extending an offer to the phenom who could already launch passes as far as most high school quarterbacks in hopes that he would drive them to a conference championship one day. Unlike most 8th graders, DJ was 6'4" and 230 pounds, which is already considered prototypical size for an NFL signal caller, let alone a middle schooler. Let's also keep in mind the dude was pretty much getting recruited from school since he was in the 6th grade, where his first college interest really began. It didn't hurt that his father was already sending out highlight tapes of his son from the time he was 9 years old. Coming in at number 5, DJ grew up idolizing Reggie Bush, and that's why he wears number 5. DJ is known for his big arm, but by all accounts, this big man with the big arm can rack up big chunks of yardage when he decides to take off. He flashed some of this ability against Boston College with a 20-yard touchdown run. DJ admits that he was never going to be like Reggie Bush, but that didn't stop him from loving Reggie so much that he chose his number 5. Remember how we said his nickname was Big Cinco? Well, now you know why. It all ties to his love for Reggie Bush, and now like Bush, Uiagalelei hopes to be another number 5 that captivates college sports the way Bush did during his time at USC, which was enough to catch the attention of a young DJ. Number 4. DJ received more offers than he knew what to do with. Receiving your first offer when you're in middle school is one thing, but what do you do when you've received over 70 offers by the time you're a sophomore? If you're DJ, you use them as motivation to live up to the hype that everyone sees. Instead of sitting on his achievements and letting his success go to his head, the attention actually motivated the young QB to improve on his game. Improve on his game he did as he became a more efficient passer who committed less mistakes and had even better mechanics. Yikes. Number 3. He got into a long ball competition with Justin Fields when they were in high school. In 2017, Justin Fields, who was one of the top prospects in the nation and would actually go on to be the top recruit next year, found himself on the same practice field as DJ, and the two had a throw-off. Fields was known for having the biggest arm around, and he took the challenge in stride. Besides, he was a senior and DJ was just a sophomore. Fields went first and launched the ball a ridiculous 80 yards downfield. DJ was up next and looking confident as ever. If you've watched the video, dude literally yawns as he's getting ready to throw. Once DJ does throw, he launches the ball 85 yards without straining. This is a sophomore, mind you. The throw drew a lot of cheers, but it was clear from those that had already seen DJ throw that this was nothing to the sophomore. One of the people in attendance even asked him to do it from his knees. Number 2. DJ's love for baseball is very real. A little earlier, we told you that a young DJ wanted to drop out of high school to move to the Dominican Republic to play baseball. Well, what we didn't tell you was that in high school, DJ still had a lot of love for the sport and was amazing at it. Matter of fact, he almost quit football to pursue baseball full time. While baseball was certainly his second best sport, it didn't stop the 6'5" DJ from loving to pitch and being pretty good at it. Ranking as the 31st best right-handed pitcher in the state with a 93-mile-per-hour fastball, many thought if DJ had taken baseball more seriously and worked on his pitching, that he could improve his velocity and be as dominant in baseball as he was in football. Now at Clemson, DJ hasn't completely ruled out baseball and has even talked to Coach Swinney about playing both sports. And number 1 on our list, DJ almost went to Alabama. If you're a Clemson fan and you're watching this video, this is the time when you let out a big sigh of relief because by all accounts, DJ was almost a member of the Crimson Tide. As the story goes, the summer after DJ's junior year, he planned on visiting Alabama, Georgia, and Clemson. Well, DJ went to Alabama and was actually blown away by his visit, actually telling his father, Big Dave, that Alabama was the school for him. His father encouraged him to see all of the schools before he made up his mind, and his last stop at Clemson eventually ended up winning him over. Alright, sports fans, that's it for our time on DJ Uiagalelei and the 10 things you may not have known about him. Let us know what you think about this list on the Clemson quarterback by dropping a comment below, and as always, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor and click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on this channel and more content just like this. Until next time, sports fans.